Growing research shows a correlation between uterine cancer and hair straightening products is raising concerns. Western Mass News reporter Libby James getting answers from a Bay State doctor on what the latest study has found.
We do know that endometrial cancer is multifactorial. We cannot say 100% that this alone explains the incidence of uterine cancer, but it's something that we should think about.
A recent study done by the U.S. National Institutes of Health has found a potential link between chemical hair straighteners and relaxers and a higher risk of endometrial or uterine cancer. Western Mass News spoke with the chief of gynecology at Bay State Medical Center, Dr. Tashana Myers, to find out more about the research.
It was a epidemiologic study looking at women who were enrolled on the sister study. So essentially, you had to be a woman who had one sister with breast cancer.
As part of the study, 34,000 women were tracked for 10 years, as they use a wide range of hair products. The brands were not disclosed. Among the findings, women who had never used hair straightening products had a 1.6% risk of uterine cancer, but any sort of exposure moved the risk up to 4%. Dr. Myers tells us the harmful chemicals used in the hair straightening products include bisphenol A, formaldehyde, and phthalate. She says the other issue is these products are applied directly to the scalp.
And we understand that the scalp is a more absorptive surface, so that you will get higher concentrations of these products when they're applied to the scalp.
Her advice for women is to decrease their exposure to these chemicals and reconsider using the products on young children. Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Libby James.
So the CDC has recently admitted to something which we have explored, researched, and have known for since the year 2011. I have the receipts, I have the documents, they're right here, okay? Here is a CAT scan, and I'll put it on the video. Here's a CAT scan of in a 2012 CAT scan. I'm going to cover up that name. We'll cover up that name. And at point, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3. At point 3, you will see uterine fibroid. Okay? I'll highlight that. Point 3, you'll see uterine fibroid. This report's back in 2012 to 2012. We had some from back in 2011. But I think the research for us began around 2012. And during this time period, we began to seek and sought after as to why uterine fibroids were specifically being affected in one particular group over another. And what we found is that the CDC may not admit this, but one thing they do admit is that it is the perms. It is perms. Perms that burn. Perms is causing uterine fibroid, uterine fibrosis, an enlargement of the uterus, and is also causing uterine cancer. Yes. And what they have now, not suggested, they put out there on the website, they finally made this announcement. These chemicals should be stopped being sold, stop being administered to people's hair. Then because the perms that burn, the chemicals, the killing of the cells, the contamination of the body, the weakening of the immune system, all of that is captured in the human body. And for the female, it's usually captured in her uterus. And so all of those toxic chemicals being trapped in her uterus begins to expand it. And as her uterus is being expanded, it's being expanded through the fibroids, which sometimes are benign, but sometimes are malignant. But sometimes they can grow very, very big. Sometimes they have to be removed surgically. They cause a great deal of pain. And then so when we were asking the doctor back in 2011 and 2012, we said, where does these fibroids come from, doctor? Oh, we have no idea. All we can do is see them on the scan. Oh, really? Thank you, doctor. So as we said, we began to do our own research and our own looking into the problem. And what we discovered was that it was from the perms, and that the Black women of America were going to be affected the most from this because of the perm. And this is one thing that we are here on the channel. We're trying to persuade people to move along the lines of holistic healing, holistic health and holistic betterment rather than the synthetics. See, the straightening of the hair, the fulfilling of the hair, the relaxing of the hair, even the growing of the hair, often in this country is often based upon synthetic means and synthetic methods. And these synthetic means and methods, they catch up to the body over time, causing disruptions and dysfunctions. And so why the CDC put this alarm out, because it is usually Black American women who are using the perms. The documentary put out there by Chris Rock called Good Hair, it was showing how so much money was being transferred from one community to another community based off of hair and the selling of hair products. And then on the one side where the money was being received, they were locking out the people who were buying the products from possibly opening their own business as well. So it was complete monopoly on this. But that was just on the economic side. But now we're later finding out through confirmed medical resources through this, like the CDC, because I don't have to, the CDC doesn't have to confirm to me what's going on. I do my own research. I find out what's going on before the CDC. That's just how I am. But I know that some people need receipts. No problem. The CDC has provided a receipt. The receipt is very clear. It's telling us that Black women who are using these perms are catching uterine fibroid expansion and possible uterine cancers. We've been discussing this within my circle for quite some time because we were concerned. The doctors acted as if they did not know. But we began to find out what the problem was. And the CDC is finally admitting to what the problem is, okay? And then so, be mindful. I'm not bashing the women, you understand? I'm looking more at the system, and I'll explain to you why. Because on one side, be mindful, there was the Crown Act, which was passed just a year ago, 6 months ago, where that law, where you can no longer discriminate against someone for employment. My point being with that is this: for decades, since the Integration Act, Black women could not enter into the workforce without having a proper image. Yeah. And that proper image often translated to a relaxed, permed hairstyle. Although it's not really natural to them, that was the environment in which they were going to work into. That's why many of them turned to that. Not out of necessarily vanity all the time, but more so out of economy from the assimilation. Some of it is vanity, let's be clear. Some of it is strictly vanity. Some of them desire the image of another woman. It's very clear on that. You have that side of it too. But no matter how you slice it or how you dice it, these perms, they burn the hair, the follicles out, and they also begin to poison the womb. Whoever created the perm, I would have to say you were probably quite devilish if you did not know. And if you later found out and did not tell, then you are still quite devilish, because it disfigures the hair follicles, balding the scalp, burning out the chemicals, burning out the follicles in the hair. Then, on top of that, it's poisoning the womb. That's a bad combination. Disfigurement and a poisoning of one's lower womb. Yes. So we showed you the problem to some degree. We show you how the world has responded to that. But here, once again, as we pour the juice, we have our own remedies. Here I am. I'm a young man, but I'm a young man of maturity, I guess. And I'm trying to tell you, if this mature guy or so-called mature guy, so-called, I do mean so-called. I got my foolishness with me. Don't think. Got a lot of foolishness with me. Yes, I do. Now, if I can make my hair grow at this age, then certainly you can do for your daughters, if not for yourself. Understand? And when I mean if not for yourself, you can probably do for yourself also, but if not for yourself, then you certainly can do for your daughters. Okay? Because I do not, I'll be honest with you, I do not know how much of it can be reversed. I believe some of it can be reversed. I do not know if all of it can be reversed. That I do not know. I'm talking about the burning out of the hair and the damaging of the hair follicles. That I do not know. But theoretically speaking, it probably could be repaired and the situation could be resolved. So I'm more inclined to say, yes, it probably can be reversed. But going forward, if you have children, let's not put perms that burn or no perms at all in their hair. Let's not rely on the lie. Let's not do that. So now we have other remedies here that can truly help us. Because I told you before, if I can make my hair grow at this age of maturity, then goodness gracious, surely you can do the same for yourself. Come on now. So we look over here. One of my greatest teachers was a man by the name of Nana, who was an herbalist. He used to create such medicines like hair bites in capsule form. Okay? Now, he can't really be located with much frequency today as he was in yesterday's, but this gives you an idea as to some of these things that are out here that are on the market. Find a reputable, good provider. Check out the reviews. People generally do not deceive other people when it comes to these type of things, and go forward. And then, so like I said before, you have the hair bites there. He used to make a wonderful formula called the herbal vitamin B complex, which can be found on the market by other providers. I had to stop taking this one at times because it truly will make my hair just grow a great deal. Here's another vitamin B complex, which you can find at Penn Medicine. I'll put the link in the box in the end. Penn Medicine. Here's an anti-gray hair formula, which also makes your hair grow. This formula is filled with biotin, zinc, chlorophyll, and such like. And chlorophyll, well, I don't have any here right now, but it truly is one of the best medicines for hair growth. It helps to clean out the gut, but it also promotes proper hair growth. Okay? The other one I like best is also chaga, the king of the mushrooms, the black mass. Recently got a little ill, had some little food, stomach infection, possibly from some bad food I ate, although I pray with my food daily. Probably ate some bad food and had a little stomach infection. Doubled up on the chaga. It gets in there, it rumbles the bacteria, germ, and disease. It expunges it from the body through the drought. Aside from that, it's also great for hair growth. It's great for the strengthening and the maintaining of hair and the hair follicles. Okay? One other substance I want to make mention of is bee propolis. I had this, you can check out one of the other videos. Bee propolis is a product made from the bee family. It is what the bees go through when they go into the hive. And the hive is one of the cleanest things you can find on the earth. Is actually cleaner than the room of a surgeon. Those guys that wash them, put the gloves on. Yeah, cleaner than that room. And not only is it good for bacteria and germ internally, bee propolis that is, as bee pollen is good for the energy. Bee propolis is also good for hair and hair follicles and hair bulbs and the strengthening and the promotion of hair growth. Okay? So these are some things that I would like to suggest. You can also do your own research. Please feel free to contact me with any questions, or if you have any suggestions, feel free to share the information, subscribe to the channel, put it at the link or the text at the bottom to interact a little bit. But there are many, many, many formulas. I just gave you 6 or 7 off the top of my head that I had access to my own home. There are many formulas out there, family, with many great providers that can help the hair growth without relying on the lie, without relying on perms that burn and which begin to poison the womb. Are you following me? This is, I consider to be somewhat of a public service announcement, if you. That's what we do here, family. That's what we do here. We got to pour that juice. So take the information as you see fit. Go forward with it. But I bring my receipts. I bring my receipts. I bring my receipts. I think that's the juice for the day. I think that's the juice for the day. I think we poured it pretty well. Tell me how you feel about that. And if you know people who are engaging in the perms, just give them a fair warning. Give them a fair warning. There are other things that we can do to create the free flowing hair, which we find, us guys, we find it beautiful, that natural, free flowing hair. And let that go forward. And one of the best ways of accomplishing that is by doing it holistically, eating organic whole food minerals, considering that you are a organic being and you're putting organic foods into your organic being, and you are promoting the proper immunity and the proper growth and the stimulation of the things which you desire. Come on down and dance with us here in the juice bar. Come take a sip of the juice. Come on, drink it on down with us. It comes in various forms, as you can see. The juice comes in various forms, as you begin to see.